Conqueror. Alright. Yeah, Idira will never know. Which is so strange, right? Maybe because Idira and Abelard would probably try to kill her. I mean, usually the game doesn't stop you to tell people things about that. I mean, you can lose most of your companions, right? Ah, interesting. We had to leave, and now we can do more colony projects. Rank 4 and rank 5. So, I think our resources are completely unchanged. Okay, Faustone has everything at 10, so we can just basically push through everything, I guess. Security +2 for all colonies. Ah, that sounds nice. And also, it doesn't like disable anything else. Here we go. Yeah, instantly done. Nice. It's wonders, profit factor, and people. Missionaries. Here we go. More money. Ooh, Iconoclast project. I didn't have Idira, but I'm guessing she would have been pissed too. Absolutely. And I mean, understandably. But that's kind of sad, because it already felt like revealing that Argenta killed Theodora. Like, the question of the killer seemed really big in the beginning of the game. And Argenta's revelation was cool, but also didn't have the impact. Now you can't even talk about that. That is kind of sad. Ooh, player character gains a Holy Man feature. How did I accomplish that? Rounds plus 10% damage for 2 turns and 20 temporary wounds when a character uses their origin ability. Neat. Go. Missionaries. For holy ammunition, we would need more reputation with the Drusians. Okay, so far we can just take the reliquary, actually. Must be completed in the Protectorate. So it's not only about the planet, but all our colonies. Complacency +4, it sounds kind of cool. I'm not sure. We don't need that. Look at that. Ah. Well. Lord Captain, the Crucible's great sculpting is underway. Faustone has been transformed right before our eyes into a fertile world with lush groves and clean water. However, there's evidence that the Crucible has also created humans. What? From the mouth of the relic came several thousand people who, speaking an archaic form of Lord Gothic, demanded to be given orders. They cultivate land, build houses and production facilities with obedience and, in general, have a remarkable range of skills and knowledge. However, it seems that these people completely lack their own free will, and for this, the monks have named them Touched. So basically like human servitors. How did the Crucible create them? And there's a splitting among the believers. Though many call it a miracle sent by the Emperor himself and want to quickly put the touch to work, a part of the population is frightened by the soulless creatures born from the ancient machine. They demand that the planet's learned men intervene in the great sculpting and find a way to stop the production of the touched. I have absolutely no idea what's the moral choice. Senseless slaughter doesn't sound smart. Or human. Or think my officers and advisors. They were bound by the relic of St. Cognatius, which means they please the Emperor. We have to remind people of it. Arrange a public ceremony of Tonjo to initiate the touch into the Order of the Hammer, and a service dedicated to reading parables about the acts of St. Cognatius and his followers. Argenta being Argenta, the answer is faith. But only make the first move and assemble a mighty force from the touched ones. If they are so obedient and diligent, then they will make fine troops. Assign a loyal commander to each squad to keep an eye on them, and these strange people will turn from a threat into mighty defenders of the Imperium. Lack of will, registering a high probability of manufacturing failure within the Crucible's sacred processes. It is recommended to dispose of the finished batch of units and hold production of new ones. The algorithm of the great sculpting requires further examination. Yay. Pasqal talking about a bet. I mean, at least looking at the decisions, I mean, in general, I think Edward would go for, or Edward does go for, coexistence, less bloodshed. So I think like the Order proclaiming them holy is actually the best idea. Just quickly looking if the boost is nice. Icons of the Touch. Sacred icons painted by the Touch adorn the ship's decks. Enemy critical hit chances and warp damage against the flagship are reduced. Let's go with that. I will draft a detailed plan of the ceremony and hand it over to the abbot. Under the guidance of the brothers and sisters of the Order of the Hammer, the Touch carry on with their toils, cultivating the land and building new settlements. The public induction of the Touch, along with their diligent services, eventually solidified their image in the minds of the people as the executors of Saint Cognatus' will sent down to the faithful to ease their burdens during the Great Sculpting. Any concerns about the Touched possibly posing a danger were completely dispelled. Sounds like a good thing, right? Right. Righteous charge, power. I think Pasqal is using power weapons, right? Yes. 16 to 24. Oh, that is really nice. So for Pasqal, that weapon would be really cool. I also have way more than enough adamantine. Blessing of Saint or non-Xenos allies gain +5 bonus to all their characteristics and skills. Whee! I think that's nicer than profit factor and a weapon. +5 bonus to all characteristics and skills. That means you have a bonus to skills of +10. Yeah, we're going for that. What do we need? Lots of resources, which we do have. Orbital shipyard. We have to see where we can build that one. Here. And we get money and reputation with the Imperial Navy. Let's go. And profit factor gained. Sacred Comet. And we finished a new ruler. Look at that. Faustone is finished. Neat. I think we have to take care here, because we can just do 4 more. And I guess we do want to build one of the really cool ones. And Fury. Exalted Instruments of War feature. All allies gain 20% minimum damage. Victory's weapon carry the blessings of the Supreme. Kinda cool. Round of Light. And would make us faster. I think I would go for the Sky Barrier. We need Holy Ammunition and Archive of the Expanse. Question is... back to Faustone. Lord Captain, the situation of Faustone requires your attention. One of the servants tasked with the Crucible maintenance has declared publicly that he has been liberated of all worldly concerns, for he is none other than the reincarnation of Saint Cognatus. And there are some extremely questionable reports claiming that he has performed miracles. Supported by a congregation garnered by preaching, he has asked for your lordship's permission to depart from Faustone with the Crucible in tow, so that he may continue Saint Cognatus' work and use the relic to transform worlds, once true to the faith of the Imperium, into lush, splendorous gardens. How about no? It goes without saying that such a generous gift to the Koronus Expanse could bring great renown to your lordship, but at a heavy cost. Faustone would turn back into wasteland, and you would lose the prestige that comes with having charge over such a valuable relic. I mean, it would transform other worlds, but transform Faustone back, so I don't really see why. Especially if it's questionable if he actually really is not just some deluded madman. I wish to hear the opinions of my advisors. False prophets in the streets are a common occurrence. Their sermons breed turmoil, riots, and acts of disobedience. The Inquisition recommends Let such unstable agents be isolated and quietly removed. The arch-enemy's lies take on many guises, but the Emperor's miracles are 100-fold stronger. On more than a few occasions, he has bestowed epiphanies upon the faithful, even those of the humblest origin. I myself bear the name of a poor orphan who was granted miraculous powers by his grace. So, give me time and I will find you the most loyal agents to escort Brother Purevoice on his travels. They will keep him safe if he is pure, or punish him should they sense deceit in his words. But I have a feeling that his rebirth is a true wonder. Just want to see what that does. Ooh, pure voiced fame. Rogue Trader gains +5 15 bonus to all their skills. Which is kinda neat, yeah. It's interesting that we do get a profit factor, but it just seems really, really bad for the planet, so we're not going to do that to the people here. Heinrix, have your agents rid us of this troublemaker. And they will see to that his disappearance is sufficiently mysterious so that the believers delve into speculation about his ascension instead of trying to look for the truth. The Inquisition being the Inquisition. The pure-voiced prophet mysteriously vanished. Rumors of his miraculous ascension immediately spread among the rabble, and soon there were those claiming to have witnessed the event. So let's see. Just wanted to see if the necessary, the holy ammunition, if we can do it on Falstone. Apparently not. Where is holy ammunition? Profit? I don't see holy ammunition. Maybe it's a level 3 one. Unavailable ones? Servitude. Gamma. Okay, I don't know where we have the holy ammunition. Go. Holy ammunition. Am I just blind? I guess it's not an option. Alright. The other Sky Barrier. We can't take that, unfortunately. Sacrament of Light would be a very nice engine. Wearer supply rating is increased by +1. As long as the wearer has 100% wounds, they deal additional damage with their psychic powers. We don't really need that, so I would go for that one. The Power of the Plasma. Archive of the Expanse. And Extraction Ignifera. Go. And here we go with the Archive. Yeah, Power of Plasma. And we can just take one more. I don't think we need more weapons. Here, no, we don't need them. Mechanical Trait. Memory of the Daring. Would be nice shield. Or just money. Money. Oh, we can do more? Oh, apparently. Oh, and we're missing Phlogiston. Damn it. Alright, we can do more projects than we can see here. Interesting. Alright, should we see what's happening in Kiava Gamma? A lot, Captain. There's an act of sabotage on Kiava Gamma. The cult of the Final Dawn has invaded the planet, cultivated a pack of schismaticals in the bowels of the manufacturums, and set them upon us. The attack was so sudden that we almost lost all the workshops, but we had help. Some entities, already being called data angels, have invaded the cogitational network, seized the cogitators and servitors, and used them to repel the first onslaught of the schismaticals. Now there's a fierce struggle taking place all over the planet. The noospheres of the world is boiling. Fortunately, we received information about the impending attack at the last moment. The signal was intercepted in the warp by the Cubist Delphins machine. Interesting, data angels. There are backup cogitators located in Kiava Gamma's manufactorums to ensure the continuity of production in case of an accident. The severity of the situation would call for disrupting the service algorithms, and I am prepared to sanction a ritual that will allow the data angels of the Omnicide to absorb the cogitator's computing power to combat these wicked spirits. If I were you, I wouldn't trust those uninvited allies of yours. And that kind of altruism almost always ferries something foul. Learn more about these creatures, order your servants to hunt one of them down, torture them, and apply cognitive punishment, since they cannot find pleasure in it. Yikes, Heinrix. And looking at the options, Marazhai is right. Catch one of the data angels. I think that's another one of the bugs. And maybe that's just Marazhai's suggestion. Marazhai is here all along. It's just Heinrix in disguise. Or Marazhai in disguise as Heinrix. Oh no. Yeah, I guess we just have two options, and we're not taking the Marazhai option. Pasqal, sanction the ritual of bonding with the backup cogitators. Your request to perform the sacrament is accepted and shall be fulfilled immediately. Having gained access to the cogitational reserves, and after being infused with power, the data angels charged at the Mechanicus. The hordes of data spirits have been exorcised and exterminated, and the afflicted mechanisms purged and restored. The tech priest gave prize to the Omnisire for protecting the production algorithm from severe disruption. After exiling the Mechanicus, the data angels have retreated into hiding inside the cogitational networks, leaving the servants of the Omnisire only to guess at who or what these beings were. I wonder what they were. Really weird. More Nomos-like creatures. Yrliet, a cryptic message arrived from Kiava Gamma. The Fabricator sensor reports that they have beheld the eye of the divine. I requested details from your less devout servants, and they clarified that the Inquest group, which has been investigating the many inexplicable events that have taken place on the planet, followed a trail of mysteries, binaric harmonics, and came upon an ancient and abandoned data complex. It is connected to the Manufactorum by a maze of communication lines and contains a gargantuan data loom. The mechanism markings show that its designation, or should I say, its rather menacing name, is Nal Khalif. Nal Khalif is immersed in sacred astrological calculation and has shown no inclination to make contact. The tech priests that connected to it were punished for the intrusion with a lethal ejection of their motive force. Yikes. The only thing they managed to find out is that the spirit of the data loom is not bound with the vows of compliance that would normally restrain a machine spirit of such power. This astoundingly mighty entity bows to no one, driven only by its own aims. Which sounds really dangerous. Ooh, we could try to make contact to form an alliance. Which is really hard, but I mean, persuasion 218. What do my advisors make of this? The great machine spirit that identifies itself as an Al Khalif bears potential as a valuable ally, one that could replace the need for Navigator's compromise of fallible flesh. We must make contact with this holy entity, for to do so is to honor the Omnisire's tenets. That the tech priests would have the audacity to disturb Nul Khalif were deprived of the motive force is a testament to the might of this data voice. I hold the knowledge to create a mediator that could interface with the fearsome machine spirit and ease the burden of the revelations on unprepared minds. I actually agree with Pasqal, which is rare. If it stares into the warp, then it's vulnerable to attacks from the warp. Never thought I'd suggest something like this, but if we want to make that machine obey us, we should have soldered through the Imperium. A Navigator data loom. This abomination makes a mockery of every Navigator house's legacy. The very fact of its existence is profoundly sickening and vile. Nal Khalif must be destroyed post-haste. Allow me to send word to the other Navigator houses. They will waste no time in dispatching their forces to destroy this monstrosity. Of course, because they see like a rival in that, right? Make contact with Nal Khalif. I wish to form an alliance with it. Interesting that if Pasqal does that, we get an additional thing, which grants more logic. Hmm. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, what it does. You gain a bonus to logic, and you can try to basically solve it, which is a really, really hard check. But if you do that, you get a permanent bonus, which allows you to use your heroic act regardless of your momentum, and without spending momentum. Come on, Pasqal, you can do this. Request approved. Transferring revelations on the meditator's creation. Magos Pasqal Hunuman imparted the secrets to the omnicized servants on Kiava Gamma, allowing them to assemble a mediator device that softened Narkalif's voice. The Magi then prayed to the mighty machine spirit, humbly asking it to make an alliance with the rogue trader and share its mysteries. And Narkalif answered, halting its sacred calculation, it bestowed its favor upon their supplicants. With its tireless, unblinking eye observing the warp currents, many a traveler have been saved from peril. Nice. That actually sounds cool. Interesting that we can click on this one here. But yeah, that was Kiava Gamma. I definitely want to have a look at the new things we got. Newest to oldest. Let's give that data pad to Pasqal. And let's see if he can solve it. Minus 167. Currently he can't. It's impossible for him. Okay, we need to give someone the Warlord's Amulet to the one with the highest intelligence. So, Pasqal, I think that's me? Okay. If only one of the Warrior's combat tactics areas active in combat, the wearer gains plus 20 intelligence and fellowship. That's part of what gives us so much intelligence. Now, without it, we take it. That was gone again. Oh, well. And here we go. The monkey hide... Incorrect? Oh, wow. You can just use certain cloaks. Oh, well. Here we go. The shadow field was pretty neat. Here we go. Adeptus Astartes, equipment. Alright. We can do so much more colony management. I'm just thinking about whether to continue with that or to continue like regular exploration. Then again, we do get bonuses for everything, so I think we should do that first. Okay, as for Savior, now we don't hear that much. All allies gain plus 12% dodge against Xenos. Kind of cool. Let's go with that. Great Fire and Captive Xenos. Captive Xenos sounds like something we didn't do. Captive Xenos with Great Fire. Great Fire. We can do this. Here we go. Ooh, that cost us profit factor. Maybe I should read those first. Lord Captain, the Order Xenos punitive unit, led by Acolyte Leonard's Q, has arrived in Janus. The Inquisition forces have already taken control of the Governor's Palace and intend to deal with the anomalies in Janus. Damn it, they want to get rid of our alliance with the Aeldari. Cooperating with the Inquisition would do us more good than trying to hide the current misfortunes of the colony. You can send them a message to keep informed about the interrogation as a favor. We shall trick them. Have my servants persuade the Inquisition that there's nothing important on the planet. Didn't it just say -1 profit factor? Why is it now -2? It will be done, your lordship. The Lord Captain's servants have taken great pains to conceal any and all evidence to create an information vacuum around the Inquisitor's squad. Alas, it is unlikely that Lady Xiu, who left Janus, has fallen for their deception. Great. The group would most likely land on the planet once again in secrecy, and the agents who she had recruited during her stay in the world would obtain the information she needs. Well... I could also go for... you know what? We need Phlogiston for that one here. Is there any project we can do to get some Phlogiston? I don't think so. Probably just hard to come by. Well. Because I mean, we also mined all Phlogiston, I think. I think there's just not more. Those all don't look too nice. The Intoxicant, the Lost. Just trying to get our profit factor up a little. Charter of Minimal Rights. The adoption of the Charter is a scandalous decision, allowing elected commoners to rule the world. Oh no, how scandalous democracy! High complacency, efficiency and security go down. Ooh, but we get fellowship from that. Here we go. More security for everyone to kind of counterfect. That's all nice. Doesn't cost us a thing. Society of Cartographers. Ooh, we get Phlogiston from that. Victory, Loyalist Guard. Yeah, we don't need the bonuses to the colony attributes, which is kind of nice. We'll bring a carry weapon. But we do need the Phlogiston. And again, it also costs us money. The only thing which actually gives us money is the Librarium. But we do need the secret lair for that. Wherever that is. Secret lair. Which we can do. Here we go. It was... Dagonis. Dagonis cries for help, Lord Captain. Riots over the interpretation of scripture have broken out in several hives across the world. While hunting for the agents of the cult of the Final Dawn, the Ecclesiarchy began reigning in the minor cults, attempting to force upon them the correct adherence to the creed. The commoners whisper of oppression of the minor cults, even daring to claim that the holy pastors have assumed the sole right to speak for the God Emperor. Heresy! Many of the disgruntled flee to the ruins of the Skypion hive, since the Brigadier clan has promised protection and support. It is even said that Brigadiers supply the rebels with weapons converted from the industrial equipment in case of large-scale crashes. So preparing for civil war? The enforcers and the agents of the Ecclesiarchy have been able to curb the rebels so far, but division grows wider by the day. Small deviances in the creed give birth to large ones, and the large ones to heresy. The basis of our belief lies in the absolute trust of those above us. Great. And if their beliefs push them toward revolt, that means that these tenets have been wicked from the very beginning. But it does not make the priests wicked. They could simply have been misguided. Force them into the Ecclesiarchy's care for re-education, so that they may see the truth, and guarantee their flock's obedience. That sounds better than an all-out war. Good. The hostages will keep their flock from making rash decisions. The enforcers firmly dispersed the crowds with shock batons and choke grass. They burst into chapels of the condemned cults, beat the acolytes, and smashed any sacred symbols deemed unorthodox, and smothered the dangerous embers of spiritual disunion looming over the planet. The relics that were not an affront to the God Emperor were confiscated. The disobedient pastors were shackled and brought into the sanctuaries of the ecclesiarchy to learn the true meaning of the creed through humility and obedience. And their flock, intimidated by unspoken threats of violent reprisals against their spiritual leaders, have since calmed down. Good. Terrarium. Call to arms. Here we go. Still looking nice. Alright, so just Janus and Viabus 6 we do have left. More on Dagonis. Terrible news from Dagonis, your lordship. Your vigilant servants have discovered an abscess of treachery in our capital world, one that has grown far too large and could rupture at any moment. There's so much freaky stuff going on in our worlds. The informants report that the group known as the Brigadier Clan is actually a cover for a horrendous cult of genetic degenerates, who currently have their people in every echelon of the hive. They are traitors to the purity of humanity, traitors to the creed, and rebels, and heretics. Oh boy. We have to act. I hope we can negotiate, but it doesn't sound like that. Absolutely right. It is impossible to negotiate. Great. With the degenerates, our only option is to completely annihilate them. We should start from the top. Should we attack decisively and quickly, or should we expose ourselves by bringing our heavy weapons into the capital and gain an advantage in firepower? To quietly eliminate their leaders, or to hit the infected territories and cleanse them of traitors? Just because they have genetic mutations. Great. And I mean, if they're navigators, it is completely fine. Edward, raise the people to battle and publicly proclaim war. Yeah, that sounds like Argenta. Tell the people that the heretics are hiding among them and that millions of loyal subjects will grind the thousands of traitors to dust. May Dagonis cleanse itself of this filth. The cleansing should be thorough. Ever since the Xenos scum attacked our world, the wrecks of the downed ships float everywhere in orbit. Connect them with your ships and send them flying toward the nest of the spawn trying to encroach on your domain. Since all of them are linked by a common will, we could start by launching our attack there. If the Astropathia choir could drown out the voice of the brute, we would be able to launch a sudden strike and act quickly enough before the enemy would be able to restore cohesion and inform each other of the assault. Since we have to kill them... I like the psychic attack the most, even though that's not the most probable thing to succeed. But I mean 75%. Heinrix, prepare a plan for the psychic attack. After that, we shall launch a surprise assault on the cult's headquarters. It's just nice it worked. It's just something Inquisition directives developed specifically for this scenario to Dagonis. At the appointed time, the enforcers start their simultaneous raids in all the hives in the capital. Relying on stealth and surprise, they did not use the heavy machinery. At the same time, the Astropathic choir launched a truly devastating attack on the grim psychic shadow hanging above the hives of Dagonis. This attack stunned the brood of heretics and temporarily cut off their psychic communication. But the heretics did not go down without a fight. Soon, an enraged outcry of psi energy from the brood swept through and above the hives, plunging the brave warriors into horror or blood insanity. The Astropathic choir had managed to drown it out with their menacing chants, but this was a test of wills, and only the most disciplined and steadfast Psykers withstood its sheer force. The element of surprise facilitated the swift extermination of the cult leaders, leading the rest of the heretics to lose heart. The filthy shrines of the heretics were set ablaze. Only one thing made the rogue trader servants feel a sense of unease. Inside the cult's main temple, they found a hatchery for some grotesquely enormous monster. It was empty. They did not find the beast. If the Emperor had been merciful to Dagonis, the monster had perished in the fires that had engulfed the hives during the cycle. Painted phylactery. Boy. Let's see, we can give that one to... What does it do? Law Xenos divided by 3% critical hit chance against Xenos. Let's go for that. Management. Just Janus and Weber 6. That one. That also just looks nice. And also just bonuses. Take it. Don't have focus on still. Need more reputation with them. Freedom and vengeance. Profit factor and plus 10 intelligence, fellowship, and willpower for us. That's neat. Let's go with that. Alright, Janus, last but not least. So Savior, he's healed. Nah. I think we already looked at that. And wanted to go for... None of them are really great, I'd say, so let's go for the one which gives us money. Payment in organs. Go. Efficiency and people, but we use money for that. We do have already enough efficiency, don't we? Yeah, just complacency is down. Well, okay, we did everything we can, at least with our current resources and our current reputation. So yeah, we managed the colonies. All right, off we go.